There was a time when Norwegian football felt almost predictable. Every season started the same way. New teams, new hopes, new stories. But the ending rarely changed. When the Eliteserien trophy was lifted, it was usually the same club holding it high above their heads. Rosenborg BK. For more than a decade, Norwegian football didn't just have a successful club, it had a dynasty, a team that dominated its domestic league, scared European opponents, and turned a small city in central Norway into the heart of Scandinavian football. But today, the story feels very different. Rosenborg are no longer the unstoppable force they once were. The club that used to define Norwegian football now finds itself chasing rivals that once lived in its shadow. So what happened? How did a club that ruled Norwegian football for so long suddenly lose its power? To understand the fall, you first have to understand the empire Rosenborg built. The story begins in Trondheim, a coastal city in the middle of Norway. Rosenborg was founded in 1917, but for decades the club was simply one of many teams in Norwegian football. They had moments of success, but nothing that suggested they would one day dominate the entire league. That all began to change in the late 1980s and early 1990s. Norwegian football was entering a new era, and Rosenborg found the perfect leader to guide them through it. His name was Nils Arne Eggen. Eggen wasn't just a coach, he was a visionary. His football philosophy was built on attacking play, teamwork, and confidence. While many teams in Scandinavia played cautious football, Eggen believed in something different. He wanted Rosenborg to attack relentlessly. His famous football philosophy, often called Godfootteorien or the good foot theory, focused on maximizing each player's strengths. Instead of forcing players into rigid systems, Eggen built a team where every player could shine. The result was extraordinary. Beginning in 1992, Rosenborg started a streak that would become one of the most dominant runs in European football history. Year after year, they won the league. Then they won it again. And again. And again. From 1992 to 2004, Rosenborg won the Norwegian League 13 seasons in a row. For an entire generation of Norwegian fans, the league table always looked the same. Rosenborg at the top. During those years, the club didn't just dominate Norway, they also made their presence felt in Europe. In the 1990s and early 2000s, Rosenborg became a regular participant in the UEFA Champions League. For a club from Norway, this was a massive achievement. They faced giants like Real Madrid, AC Milan, Juventus, and Borussia Dortmund, and sometimes they even beat them. One of the most famous moments in Rosenborg history came in 1997, when they defeated AC Milan at the San Siro to qualify for the Champions League knockout stage. For Norwegian football, it was a historic moment. Suddenly, Rosenborg weren't just the kings of Norway. They were a respected team across Europe. The success of that era was built on a remarkable group of players. Roar Strand, who spent his entire career at the club and became a symbol of loyalty and leadership. Bent Skamelsrud, a midfield engine and key figure in the dominant teams of the 1990s. Minnie Jacobsen, a creative attacking player who helped shape Rosenborg's identity. Harald Brattbakk, one of the club's most prolific goal scorers, and later, players like John Carew, who would go on to have a successful international career. Together, they formed a team that understood Eggen's philosophy perfectly. They attacked, they pressed, they played fearless football, and most importantly, they won. By the time Rosenborg's golden era slowed down in the mid-2000s, the club had built a legacy that few Scandinavian teams could match. In total, Rosenborg have won the Eliteserien more than 25 times, making them the most successful club in Norwegian football history. But football changes quickly, and the very things that made Rosenborg successful began to fade. After the golden era ended, the club struggled to maintain the same level of stability. Nils Arne Eggen eventually stepped away from coaching, and replacing a legendary manager is never easy. Different coaches came and went, each with their own ideas, philosophies, and systems, but none of them managed to recreate the magic of the Eggen years. At the same time, Norwegian football itself was evolving. Other clubs began improving their academies, scouting systems, and tactical approaches. Teams like Molde started investing heavily and building strong squads, and more recently, Bodø, Glimt emerged as a completely new force in Norwegian football. Suddenly, Rosenborg were no longer the only club setting the standard, they were being chased, and eventually overtaken. Another challenge was recruitment. During their golden era, Rosenborg consistently signed the best Norwegian players and promising Scandinavian talents. But modern football changed the transfer market. Young players began leaving Norway earlier to join clubs abroad. Financial gaps between leagues became larger. And Rosenborg no longer had the same advantage they once enjoyed. The club also struggled to maintain a clear football identity. During the Eggen era, everyone knew what Rosenborg stood for: attacking football, confidence, and dominance. In later years, the club seemed unsure of its direction. Different managers brought different styles, squads were rebuilt repeatedly, and the consistency that once defined Rosenborg disappeared. There were still moments of success. The club won several league titles in the 2010s and continued to compete for trophies, but the feeling was different. Instead of dominating the league every year, Rosenborg were now part of a much more competitive environment, and in recent seasons, the gap between Rosenborg and the top teams has sometimes felt wider than ever. Clubs like Bodø, Glimt have raised the tactical and physical level of Norwegian football. Their fast attacking style and modern coaching methods have brought them both domestic success and impressive European performances. Meanwhile, Rosenborg has been searching for its next identity. Fans in Trondheim still fill Lerkendal Stadium, one of the most historic football grounds in Norway. The passion is still there, the history is still there, but the dominance is gone. At least for now. The big question is whether Rosenborg can rise again. Football history is full of great clubs that experience difficult periods before returning stronger. And Rosenborg still have many advantages. They have one of the biggest fan bases in Norway. They have a powerful football culture. And they still carry the legacy of one of the greatest eras Scandinavian football has ever seen. If the club can rebuild its identity, invest wisely in young players, and find the right leadership, there is no reason Rosenborg cannot return to the top of Norwegian football. But the truth is that the league has changed. The competition is stronger, the financial landscape is different, and rebuilding a dynasty is never easy. For now, Rosenborg live between two worlds: the past, where they ruled Norwegian football like kings, and the future, where they must fight to reclaim their throne. The question is simple: was Rosenborg's dominance just a beautiful chapter in football history? Or is the next chapter of that story still waiting to be written?